So we're up at 3. Well, we've been up since 3 a.m. The witching hour. What? Hey, hey. We went to bed early after watching Rosemary's Baby for the umpteenth time and the first part of Psycho. Yeah, we're getting down with some of the old favorites. And the decoder is where the Rosemary's Baby was shot. So John always likes looking at the footage of the building, especially. I feel a little ping when we see that doorway, the entranceway where you were shot there. And that's the opening shot of the movie Rosemary's Baby. And John knew Mia Farrow too. He went. What is it? Yeah, we had a tentative friendship in India. Yeah, she's a nice lady. Yeah, interesting lady. Nice, open-minded, nice woman, nice girl. Yeah. And her sister, right? Prudence? Yes. Oh. So what were you thinking about when you were saying? As we were laying here talking, I'm trying not to wake up Christopher. He's sleeping so soundly. Um, we were reminiscing about yesterday and that we saw a nice post from someone named Promenade who was saying that I was an interesting person and that she enjoyed following us and hearing our conversations, John and myself. And she was open to the metaphysical possibility, very much so, that, you know, the twin flame thing is real and that, and that I'm connected with John. But I said to John, but when the people who stick up for us and say, yeah, this seems legit. This woman is really, as she called me, incredible. She said I was incredible. And I was like, wow, that's a nice compliment. It's almost as nice as the reviews I used to get as a working musician here in New York. And I said to John, why, when people defend me, and even when they don't defend me online, and they have something weird to say about me that's untrue or whatever, why do they never mention the fact that I'm a legitimate singer-songwriter who has a history as a popular working performer in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s here in New York City in all of the biggest rock clubs? I have the reviews to prove it. I have posted music. The lyrics are incredible. I know I'm a good writer. Nobody mentions that. Like, yeah, and guess what? She has that in common with John. She's a guitar slinging broad who writes her own songs and worked really hard for several decades trying to make it here in New York. And the only reason I didn't make it was because of my alcoholism. My drinking got in the way of my ability to succeed, truly. If I would have been sober my whole life, things would have been different. But I was not capable of being sober. I was too damaged. It took me, I had to turn 50 before I got sober. And it took John reaching me to help me get sober. Otherwise, I would have been a big star. Everybody said it. Everybody said it. I knew it too. I knew I had the goods. But nobody mentions that about me. They either want to call me the crazy John Lennon girl or the, incredible psychic who, yeah, she's with John Lennon. Wow. Nobody mentions me as a talent in my own right. It's just all John. And how does that make you feel? Like it's not really fair, but I guess it's also like another part of me is like, well, Lynn, that's your ego. Lynn Ann. Yeah, that's my birth name, Lynn Ann. Lennon. That was my band, Lynn and Gate 18. I named the band after some seats I had at a Grateful Dead show way back in the 80s. I think it's important to just make a video like this every now and then and, remind those who are watching you that you're proud of your accomplishments, and you should be. And don't write everything off to, oh, this ego of mine. Don't do that, Lena. You never really had an ego. No, not really. The world wouldn't let you have one. Everyone was constantly trying to drag you down to their level. And it never quite worked, but it was very wearying for me to watch you experience that. It was wrong. What the world did to you was wrong. What it still does to you is wrong. But no one ever said it was going to be fair. And as your own song, Just One Reason, points out, nothing worthwhile is ever easy. And that's why I wanted you to post that song last night. And I'm glad you did, because the lyrics are powerful, and so is the song. Yeah. Post it again here in the liner notes. What? Just one reason. Yeah. Listen to the wind. I have to put my mouth guard in because I'm like anxious for some reason, and I'm chewing on the inside of my mouth while I'm sleeping. I hate that. What do you think you're anxious about? I don't know. Stuff. I'm always anxious about what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? It's a joke, but it's not. So what do you want to do today? Today is Friday. Yeah. Labor Day weekend. Wow, this summer just flew by so fast. I guess we're almost out of Mercury retrograde. Well, we're going to check on all that. We could watch some more Psycho before we try to go back to sleep for a couple hours. Oh, that'll put me right to sleep. We're right up to the shower scene. We had to turn it off. I said, I don't want to watch the shower scene just before bed. Let's watch that in the morning. But Rosemary's Baby is a treat. That movie is so well done. It's everyone does such a great job. Cassavetes is so great as that shitty husband. Hi, John. Yeah, John Cassavetes. How are you, dear? Hi, Peter Falk is here. Ben Gazzara. All the guys are here. All right, we'll watch some Cassavetes movies today. Why not? That sounds fun, John. Yeah. So many great movies to watch. I love you so. I love you too. And I never forget for not one second what a great musician and songwriter, and let's face it, singer that you are. And that's why I want to keep you busy in that department, because I don't want you to forget it either. And I won't let you forget it. Oh, well, you know what, honey? It's really not likely. It's such a big part of who I've been in this life. And I guess that's what really, stymies me now, is that, wow, nobody mentions that. Now, John Lennon overshadows everything I do. That used to be my claim to fame, and that's what people would say about me. Like, if people talked about me in the name, you remember Lynn. Oh, yeah, she's a rock and roller. She plays the clubs. She's good. She's got albums out and everything. Just waiting to get signed. It'll happen. I mean, that used to be the talk of the town. I was the talk of the town in this neighborhood, in this little Queensburg, and in some places in Manhattan, and on college radio. I did a lot of interviews on college radio here in New York City. We were going to go to Boston and do some interviews. A lot of stuff got fucked up when my younger brother started managing me. I let go of the reins and I kind of spiraled. I was spiraling psychologically. I had a lot of issues I wasn't dealing with. I was spiraling with my drinking, and I made the mistake of letting my very crooked-minded younger brother, who I trusted foolishly, take over managing some of the fine points of my career with the booking agents and stuff, and he made a mess of things. He was not capable of managing anything, much less my career. Big mistake. I wanted so badly to trust somebody that I felt was close to me, and my younger brother ended up being the biggest fucking failure and disappointment from me in my life on a personal level and a professional, everything. He turned out to be the most untrustworthy, most disappointing individual I've ever known. And I treated him so good his whole life. I was so good to him as an older sister. I know I was. I nurtured him. I cared for him. And that's how he repaid me. What a dirtbag. So, but, again, my own drinking was the problem. Drinking in amphetamines. And I was working day jobs that kept me very exhausted all the time. I was very run down. I was just toward the end of my music career when I realized, okay, my opportunity for getting signed is pretty much, that's over. That's not going to happen now. It was a rough thing to have to admit to myself that I was my own worst enemy. And then we had an opportunity to buy a cabin upstate, me and Christopher. And at that point, I wanted to hide from the world. I didn't want to spend my weekends in New York looking for gigs or living up to some rock and roll dream. So I disappeared in the country. I disappeared on a mountain for over a decade. That's where I was. And then John came back. Christopher got cancer and John came back to save us all. I'm mighty glad you're here. I'm mighty glad I'm here too, honey. Yeah. You glad with the way things turned out? I am. I never would have believed that things would have turned out this way, but they did. Now I want you to stop worrying. All right. And you got to put that mouth guard in. You need a little bit of help tonight. Yeah, God, what is that? Well, it's bruxism. It's a nervous jaw disorder, and it's common enough. It doesn't make you a freak or anything else. We have the technology, darling. Okay. Well, those chimes sound nice outside. Yeah. I love you. I love you too, baby. What's it all about, Alfie? Yeah, John was thinking about his father and the things in his life that were unfinished, and we wake up with all these thoughts, and then we talk each other off the ledge, and then we realize nothing is so bad because we're together. Hi, Mom and Dad. And Mom and Dad, I can feel they're so happy that we're together. Like, there's such relief from them. I feel it all the time. Like, oh, finally, they'll be okay. They've got each other. I love you. I love you too, babe. Let's go wrap this thing up and figure something else out.